Welcome to AI Book Highlights.
Hello.
Today we're looking into, well, a really fascinating book. Dolores Cannon's The Convoluted Universe, Book 1.
Ah, yes. It's a collection, basically, of insights from her hypnotic regression work over many, many years.
And the topics are pretty out there, right? Past lives, ETs, Atlantis, Lemuria.
Exactly. And also the nature of reality itself, consciousness, how it evolves.
Yeah.
It's all drawn from what her subjects reported under hypnosis.
So our plan today is to pull out maybe 5 key highlights that really stand out from this, well, convoluted universe of ideas.
And then maybe distill them into, say, 3 actionable takeaways, things that might make you, the listener, look at things a bit differently.
Sounds good. Let's jump in. So first highlight, lost knowledge and ancient civilizations. Atlantis comes up a lot.
It does. The book talks about really advanced knowledge they supposedly had, like using crystals for power and healing.
Right, I remember reading about that. Creating perfect crystals from things like gel and sand.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds almost like science fiction. And healing chambers using specific colored lights powered by these crystals.
And it wasn't just crystals, was it? There was talk about manipulating stone.
Mm-hmm. Making stone pliable, workable. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
And also highly developed psychic abilities.
Psychic abilities being normal, not some rare gift, but just part of development.
That's the idea presented. It makes you wonder, have we lost something along the way with our focus purely on external tech?
Well, the story doesn't end well for Atlantis in these accounts, does it?
No, it doesn't. The book suggests their fall wasn't accidental, but resulted from misusing these incredible abilities, interfering with natural laws.
Like the genetic experiments,
Yeah.
interbreeding, cloning, and leading to mistakes, diseases.
Precisely. Tampering, where perhaps they shouldn't have. It's presented as a kind of cautionary tale about power and responsibility.
But the knowledge wasn't entirely lost. Some got transferred.
That's the theory in the book, influencing later civilizations, maybe even the construction techniques for the pyramids.
Ah, the idea of levitating stones using sound and directing energy through people.
Yeah, human amplifiers.
Yeah.
It's a radically different take on how those structures might have been built.
And they mentioned Lemuria, too, briefly.
Right. More focused on spiritual advancement, perhaps less on the kind of tech Atlantis had. Shows different paths, maybe.
Okay, let's shift gears. Highlight number 2, extraterrestrial contact and dimensions. This is another huge theme.
Absolutely. And it's not just beings from other planets in our, physical space. It's also about beings from other dimensions.
Coming from different vibrational levels, that sounds abstract.
It is. The idea is they might exist as pure energy or light, but can still interact with us, sometimes even manifesting physically or entering human bodies.
Entering bodies to help out, sort of.
To aid progression, yeah, or to share messages. It's quite a concept.
And this ties into the idea of dimensions coexisting, right? Like they're all here, just vibrating differently.
The book uses an analogy, like layers of gauze or fog occupying the same space but separate.
Yeah.
We just perceive our layer, mostly.
Makes you think about what else might be around us, unseen.
It really does. And the purpose described for some of these ET interactions isn't hostile. It's more about subtle enlightenment.
Messages of love, helping the planet.
That kind of thing. Working behind the scenes, perhaps.
But the book also stresses the importance of the physical body, doesn't it? It's not like being non-physical is necessarily better.
Right. Physicality offers specific experiences. And apparently, humans aren't the only species interested in or attached to physical form.
Fascinating. Okay, third highlight. The nature of reality and consciousness itself.
This is where it gets really fundamental. The core idea is that our everyday reality, what we see and touch, is, well, maybe an illusion, or at least a very limited slice of a much bigger picture.
Like we're moving from seeing things in just 3 dimensions to understanding there are many more.
Exactly. And our souls, or consciousness, aren't limited either. They're described as these continuous particles.
Particles of consciousness.
Yeah. And they can experience multiple lifetimes, maybe even across different universes simultaneously.
Whoa, so parallel universes, branching off, interweaving.
Something like that. The book really stretches the imagination there. And time itself is seen differently, too.
Not linear, but a form of energy.
An energy that consciousness can potentially direct or mold.
Which links to the idea of an underlying energy field, right? A network holding everything together.
Yes, a network of basic energy particles where all possibilities exist. Everything that could be is on some level.
And our thoughts, they play a role in this.
A big one. The power of thought and intention to actually influence this energy field, to shape our reality, to draw experiences to us. That's a key message.
Okay, that's a lot to ponder. Highlight 4, spiritual evolution and DNA changes.
Right. This ties into humanity's ongoing development. The book touches on possible genetic manipulations in our past.
Intentional ones, to help us survive in different environments, maybe even off Earth.
That's the suggestion, adapting the human body. But it also talks about future potential.
Like changes in our DNA linked to consciousness.
hmm Specifically, the idea of activating more strands of DNA, going beyond the double helix we know,
Towards what? A higher state.
towards potentially 12 strands,
Yeah.
achieving what's called a fifth-dimensional state of being.
12 strands. Wow. And how does that happen? Is it just done to us?
The book stresses it's a combination. There might be external aid, but our individual effort is crucial.
Like meditation, focusing intention, doing the inner work?
Exactly. It's not passive. And this evolution is linked to a broader shift.
A shift in the planet's vibration?
Yeah, and potentially leading to much longer lifespans for those who achieve this higher consciousness.
Okay, final highlight number 5, guidance and assistance.
This covers the idea of higher energy beings, or guides. Not necessarily superior, but existing at different frequencies.
And they help us. How?
By acting as conduits for knowledge, maybe creating supportive environments for consciousness to evolve. The book uses an analogy.
The stone in the pond.
Right. Givers of truth throwing stones, creating ripples of understanding that spread outwards.
And they learn from us too. It's a two-way street.
That's the perspective. We offer experiences they might learn from, just as they offer guidance. It's mutual growth.
The book also touches on the feeling of home, doesn't it? That it might not be Earth for everyone.
Yes. Some people have strong emotional ties to other planets or star systems, possibly hinting at past life origins or where their soul group comes from.
That could explain a lot for some people. And one more thing here, the return of spiritual figures.
Ah, yes. The idea that someone like Christ might not return as one single person, but the spirit or consciousness could manifest through many different individuals.
A collective return, in a sense.
Perhaps. It's another mind-expanding idea from the book.
Okay, so those are 5 pretty hefty highlights. Let's try to pull out some actionable takeaways for you listening. What's the first one?
I think the most obvious one is simply cultivate open-mindedness.
Yeah, given the nature of this stuff, you kind of have to, right?
Exactly. The book deals with phenomena way outside our current scientific models. Maybe our current belief systems are actually limiting our understanding of what's possible. So just being open, that's step 1.
Good point. Takeaway number 2.
Recognize the power of consciousness. Your consciousness.
The idea that our thoughts and intentions aren't just idle internal chatter.
Right. The book consistently suggests they have real energy, real impact. They shape our reality, contribute to the vibrations around us. So becoming more aware of your inner world.
And consciously directing your thoughts toward what you want, towards positivity.
It's about realizing you're an active participant in creation, not just a passive observer.
Okay. And the third takeaway.
Embrace lifelong learning and exploration.
Because this book just opens up so many doors, so many interconnected ideas.
Precisely. It shows how much there is to potentially understand about ourselves, the universe, reality. So stay curious.
Ask questions, seek out different perspectives. Don't just settle for easy answers.
Yeah. Keep exploring.
Yeah.
The journey of understanding is ongoing.
So those are just a few glimpses, really, into the complex and definitely intriguing concepts in Dolores Cannon's The Convoluted Universe, Book 1.
It really does offer a unique perspective, drawing on all those reported experiences that challenge how we usually think about things.
Absolutely. If any of this has sparked your curiosity, maybe made you think, I want to know more about that, we definitely recommend checking out the book itself.
It's a deep dive for sure.
We've put a link to purchase The Convoluted Universe, Book 1 in the description below for you.
Thank you for joining us on AI Book Highlights. We hope this has given you some surprising facts and definitely some food for thought.
Until our next journey into the realms of knowledge, keep exploring.